Hey, y'all. Justin here from the Outer Banks This Week podcast. I want to introduce to you right now the new Other Side of Fishing show with Captain Marty. So he and I started this show. He had it on the radio for quite some time, and now we brought it over to the podcast platform, and we're relaunching it right now. So going forward, you're going to hear these on his channel. Just search Captain Marty if you haven't done so already on all your major podcast platforms. But for today, we're just going to put this on my platform as well. So without further ado, here we go. All right, welcome. Welcome to the brand new relaunch of the Captain Marty Other Side of Fishing show.
Yep.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be extended, expanded.
Yes.
We're going to stick our toe in the water, Justin.
Okay.
We're glad everybody's with us today because we got some really exciting things to talk about. And, you can share this with your friends. They can come back and listen to it anytime, right?
It's the beautiful thing about the podcast world, Captain, is the fact that you can listen to it. You can pause it. You can start it over again. You can share it on social media for all of your friends to listen to. I mean, right now, your fishing reports are on podcast platform, which most folks probably know.
And my stories.
And your stories. And they are getting streams, more and more streams every week. You have fishing reports, Captain, believe it or not, you have fishing reports from December that are still getting listened to. Wasn't able to do that before.
No.
But now you can. But hey, look, with a new show comes great sponsors.
Oh, and long time sponsors.
Yes, old time, long time sponsors. So I guess we can't really say new. We can say they're just coming back in a new form. This show, the Captain Marty Other Side of Fishing show, is all brought to you by Red Drum Tackle in Buxton, the closest tackle shop to the point. Fantastic folks down there. Mr. Anthony, Miss Kara, and I accidentally called her Kim on my podcast the other day, so I apologize for that. But they were excited when I went down to see them, and I said, we're getting ready to relaunch the Other Side of Fishing with Captain Marty. Where do we sign up? How do we become the presenting sponsor for this show? And I said, it's simple. It's right here. And of course, Marty, you've been knowing them for a long time.
A long time. And I think it's okay to say this. You remember for 25 years, I had a Saturday morning program on radio that was very well liked. All right. So this first episode, we are here on a Saturday morning, but you can come back and listen to this 7 days a week as long as you want.
Absolutely.
So it will be, but for our old listeners over on radio, it'll be similar to what we used to do on the old Saturday morning program. And Kara and the crew at Red Drum, I learned something. When we talked to her, I learned something really cool last night. This drum bite that's been going on. And we've been hearing about the fly fishermen going down on Hatteras Island on Calm Day. She ties flies, which that doesn't surprise me. But have you ever heard of tying a fly on a double hook drum rig?
A double hook drum rig.
Yeah,
a fly on a
bottom
stop it.
It makes total sense. But anyway, those people have the local knowledge down at Red Drum in Buxton. And we are really, really excited. And she is really, really excited to be born. We're going to try to give her a call a little bit later in the program.
Yes, absolutely. It's all brought to you by Red Drum Tackle and powered. Got to have some power to go behind this thing. And what better power than the largest repower center in Northeast North Carolina by way of Radcliffe Marine in Belhaven. Marty, do you know anything about Radcliffe Marine? Have you ever?
I would say that they're my longest sponsor. They've been with me longer than any other sponsor for years. And Ricky Radcliffe, I knew him professionally from my former career. A lot of outboard motors over there. But they are really, really good when it comes to repair and especially into new installation. I learned so much from our visits over there to them about how these new motors work. And the horsepower on some of these motors is incredible.
It is.
They pulled through all of the pandemic and tough times when it was hard to get supply. When nobody else had them, Radcliffe Marine had motors. And they are great people, and he likes a good buffet too.
Yes, he does. I mean, one of the things that Cap Marty and I love to do every so often when we get an opportunity is run out to Belhaven and pay them a visit. And let me tell you, they got a restaurant right there, and the captain's blowing up. Captain called the captain phone. It's almost like the bat phone from Batman. This is the Cap phone.
I had my phone turned off, but I didn't have my alarm turned off.
That's okay. That's all right. That's beautiful.
That was. I was just telling everybody, make sure everything's turned off. Of course, that's my job as captain, I guess.
Yeah, it's part of it, Captain.
Yeah,
it's part of it. It's part of the aura of you. Mm-hmm. Okay. But no, we'll go out there and we'll go to Fish Hooks right there on Main Street pretty much in Belhaven, and we'll get that buffet. And it's a nice country buffet, nice laid back atmosphere. The food is great.
Price is great.
Prices are great. It's just a wonderful place. So if you're in Belhaven, a little plug for Fish Hooks there in downtown Belhaven, go check them out and get a bite to eat, because it's definitely definitely a fantastic spot.
Trump, the Hardy's #2 superstar.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
That was right across the street.
I know that was going to come
We don't even go there anymore.
No. But I think one of the most beautiful things about Radcliffe, Mr. Ricky at Radcliffe Marine is, he's got a heart of gold. He's a man of God, and greatly appreciate his willingness to continue on as a proud sponsor, as a powering individual for the Captain Marty Other Side of Fishing show. A couple things I kind of want to throw in there real quick. Some things that visions for the show. Again, this is our first show for the year. We're going to be doing it about once a month right now until we get the power going a lot more, get some more sponsors going. But as we get full steam ahead with this, there's going to be a phone number that you can call and ask the captain a question, and we're going to play those back when the time comes. We're working on some of those things. We're working on a lot of other projects to be going out and doing things. I believe Kara at Red Drum Tackle wants us to do a recording of the show from there.
Yeah, and we can do that.
And we can. That's the beautiful thing, is we can take the show on the road. We're not confined to this space that we're in right here at the One Boat Studios in downtown Mania.
And as we'll find out later in the program, we're going to do the same thing at the Pirates Cove tournament too.
Absolutely.
More on that in a moment.
More on that in just a few moments. Yes, but Captain, real quick, give me a rundown of the fishing from over the last week or so.
Well, normally this time of year you wouldn't have much of a fishing report.
No.
In all the years that I fished at Oregon Inlet, we didn't go out there bluefin tuna fishing. I can remember when we found the fall yellowfins for the first time. We were commercial fishing for king mackerel in the fall, and they weren't biting. And Omi Tillett and myself and a few other boats said, we were commercial fishing. Let's go out and just see what's in the Gulf Stream. And we hit the first bites of the fall yellowfin. That went on for the last 30 years. But now the giant bluefin tuna bite has been spectacular this year. And they've been up to 1,000 pounds.
Holy smokes.
There's a lot of legalities and regulations and laws, and the quota is just about to be filled. But that is going on. If you find a pretty day, you get down around those fish houses, because somebody's going to bring one of those big ones to the dock, usually in Wanchese. But you got that going on. Then we've had this drum bite that's been hot and cold, but normally you would never say, oh gosh, we're going to go down on the beach in Hatteras Island and throw a fly rod and catch slot-sized puppy drum.
It's wild.
I have a friend that caught 25 in one day last week, so on a fly rod.
That's wild.
Yeah, so
absolutely wild.
They were really thick and mixed in some black drum with them. These are all smaller drum, not the great big ones which have moved south, but you got that going on. And then over the Sound, we had the trout cold stun event. So the trout season is closed.
Right.
And as you know, I don't get into the legalities. I don't have opinions on how that should be handled. But you really need to understand the law before you go trout fishing.
Very true.
So you don't end up in trouble. But the crappie bite is on. That's the most covert, secret type of fishing there's ever been. And
hold on. A crappie bite? Like, why would you want to go fishing? If it's a crappie bite, then why
north
fish?
They call them crappie. But down here we call them crappie.
Oh, you're talking about the fish, not the
fish.
fact that the fishing that day was of that nature.
Yeah.
It's just,
okay,
got it.
It's almost a cult fishery.
That's
these
true.
People, they go down through the woods to a ditch somewhere and use 6 or 8 cane poles, and they're really, really good to eat. But you have to know exactly when to be there, exactly when they're on the beds. There's just a lot to it. But that's the 3 things that are going on in the fishing front. And we are going to talk here in a little while about what's some upcoming fishing, and we have a guest today.
Yeah, I was going to say, what can we expect in this new show? I mean, we've gone through our sponsors and everything like that, and we talked a little bit about the fishing report. What can we expect in this show, Captain? Talk to me.
I'm really tickled that we have Lisa Howell with us today. And
Lisa Howell.
She's a charter boat captain's wife, amongst many other things.
Now,
Will Howell is her husband.
Okay. I was going to say, it's not Thurston Howell the third.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. I'm just making sure. Maybe that's her father-in-law.
Could be.
Could be. He's old enough to be.
Her father-in-law is Richie Howell, the boat builder.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
And he probably does have as much money as Thurston Howell.
Are you now, Miss Lisa? Come on up to the mic. We go ahead. We're going to bring you on in. Are you familiar with Thurston Howell the third?
I'm not.
Oh, gosh, that shows our age, Captain. Wow. That shows our age.
I asked her something not too long ago at our other meeting, and she didn't. I forgot what show it was, and she did not know. I forget, that a lot of water has gone under the bridge.
Yes. Thurston Howell III is a character from the television show Gilligan's Island. Have you ever heard of Gilligan's Island?
Course.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, just making sure.
So Lisa and I will be working together at Pirates Cove tournament. I do 6 major tournaments with media and scoring, things like that, and a lot of things going on there. But Lisa's sitting in with us today, and Lisa, first of all, welcome. And
Thank you.
this is her first time podcasting, and it's our first time, so
this is going to be fun.
Yeah,
we're in this together.
So what is going on? There's some major changes in rules and things. First of all, the Pirates Cove tournament I've been a part of for 19 years. It's the single largest tourism event, boost to the economy in Dare County. And we really want to get the locals more involved. There are plenty of opportunities she'll tell you about. But what do you got going on over at Pirates Cove for the tournament this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So this year is my first year as assistant director. I am joining Maddie Haslett Rivers. She's director this year. And we're super excited. Our biggest change that most people are probably most excited about is going to be some of our rule changes this year. We have decided that we are dissolving our Omni and non-Omni categories, and we are going to move forward with a point system. So that's going to mean for us is double the payouts, half the category. So I think that's going to be really, really enticing to some of our participants this year.
So it is. And for folks that are listening that don't know what Omni versus non-Omni.
That's what I was about to ask. What the heck is that?
Good question. So for many, many years, you went fishing in a tournament and you took your best equipment and you caught your fish and you scored your points. But technology through the years has come out. The trawl boats are the ones that started with it, with these sonars. Now I had, in the beginning of my fishing career, we had paper fathometers. Then we went to color scopes, color machines. But now they got sonars, and they're expensive. Roughly $130. Paul Spencer told me the other day, turnkey $135,000 to $150,000 to put in a sonar. But what it does, Justin, is it looks to the right, it looks to the left, it can look out ahead of the boat. It does way more than look straight down like all the old ones. So it's a huge advantage. And it requires extra crew members too, because one guy's job is to look in the scope and the other guy's job is to be up maybe in the tuna tower. It's a whole new thing, but it's a distinct advantage. So a lot of tournaments, including Pirates Cove in the past, would have it's basically 2 tournaments.
Two separate tournaments, absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And but now as more and more boats get it, what we're doing now is just a difference in the point spread. You catch a blue marlin with an Omni, and you get a little bit. Do you know what the point breakdown is?
I do have the new point spread for the 2025 tournament.
So what's the difference between one caught with an Omni and one without an Omni?
Yeah, so this year a white marlin, sailfish, or spearfish release with a non-sonar boat is going to be worth 100 points and 75 points for a boat that is sonar equipped.
No, so what was the first one? 100?
100 points for non-sonar and 75
that's
points.
That's good. That's a perfect margin. And I noticed I worked both Hatters tournaments last year, and they used that same thing, and it worked great. Mm-hmm. So, eventually, Justin, it's going to be a non-factor because even the char boats now, the price, like everything else in technology, the price is coming down, down, down. Dickie Harris told me there's a lot of captains in the fleet that are going with one that's about $45,000. And it's smaller and everything, but you're going to pretty soon, and within the next few years, everybody's going to have.
Absolutely. You're already seeing in the charter fleets here that, this year, a large handful of them have
so that's
joined the team. Absolutely.
A huge change. So the tournaments that she'll be dealing with will be the Pirates Cove Billfish tournament and the Alice Kelly, which is the ladies tournament. And then, of course, I will be working the Boat Builders tournament, which is
That's right.
the earlier, smaller tournament. And I will be doing the Hatteras Village Offshore Open, and the Hatteras Marlin Club tournament, and the Englehard Volunteer Fire Department tournament, which we did last year.
How many tournaments do you think you do?
6.
6 tournaments a year.
6, and I think that's about good. I'm really excited about this. And one of the reasons I'm excited about it, you got to remember that I talk to people. I was talking to in fact, has Will got a mate for this year? Is he good with his mate?
He does. He does.
So I was talking to over the years, I've scouted out when I was a mate, when I was a captain, and then when I had my tackle shop, I had a good eye for a good mate. I lived, as you know, out of the back of my van at Odin's Dock for my whole first year and camped out to try to find a job. And a captain generally is more interested in someone that's dependable, clean cut, doesn't smoke, and is personable over fishing ability.
Yeah, you can build that, absolutely.
Yeah, you can.
Right.
So, I was talking to this young man the other day, and the way I explained why he wanted to come to Oregon Inlet, and I said, well, you got to know it's harder to get a job there than anywhere else because you have mates from the whole eastern seaboard want to end up there. Why? Remember what we talked about on one of our other shows?
Yes.
Number one, it's the only place in the country where the mates get 100% of the tip. Mm-hmm. Almost everywhere else you go, it's split between the captains. So, and then here's the other things. You have the best fishing, and you have the best clientele, and you definitely have the nicest fleet of boats. So that applies to this tournament. This is just a potpourri of cool things, and the fleet of these custom-built sport fishing boats. Lisa, your father-in-law is Richie Howell.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's just a really neat thing, a really neat place.
I learned that tipping thing the hard way when I was living in Florida, Cap. I was a bunch of us were going to college in Gainesville, and we decided that we were going to charter a boat out of St. Augustine, and we got on the boat, and like you said, just to your point just a second ago, saying that the mate keeps 100% of the tips, I thought that was kind of a universal language. So when we went to tip at the end of the day, we tipped, I mean, a very nice, what I consider to be a nice portion at that, considering the economy at that time, to the mate. And we actually, it was the weirdest thing. And I don't know, I really pray that this doesn't happen anywhere else. We got a phone call the next day from the marina, and they said, was everything okay with your trip? And we were like, yeah, we had a great time. Everything was fantastic. And they were like, I thought they were just conducting a little survey. And they said, well, you shafted the captain and the mate. And we were like, what do you mean? They're like, well, you didn't tip him very good. And I was like, well, we tipped the mate. Yeah, we gave him all our, we tipped him. Well, I thought we tipped him very well considering. And they said, well, they split the tips. I was like, well, I didn't know that, and that was very strange to me because, again, growing up in the Oregon Inlet with the Oregon Inlet fleet and Pirates, I mean, there was no, that was how it was. Mate got 100%.
So we got the tournaments, with the 2 tournaments that you'll be dealing with, and we may be doing something in the Boat Builders tournament as well. But so tell us a little bit about the tournament.
Yeah. So it's been really cool to be a part of it this year. I have watched it grow my whole life. I've attended since I was a little kid, so it's really cool to be a part of it now. We're really, really excited about increasing our community involvement. That's really, really important to me, and we've got all different fun and exciting events coming this year. We're going to have a full Ladies' Day and Kids' Day at the event, hopefully to bring in some more of our community, and we're really excited about just all the changes we're making this year.
And this tournament is a nonprofit. It supports charities.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
Absolutely. So we do have proceeds of our tournaments that go to several different local organizations as well as the Billfish Foundation. So that's, the more we grow, the more participants we have, the more sponsors we have, the more we're able to give back to our Dare County community.
Okay. And a lot of there's a strong volunteer force, but I know that this year you guys are kind of like interested in letting people know that if you want to participate, there's a right way and a wrong way of doing it. But if you want to be in part of one of the biggest tournaments on the East Coast, how do you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So volunteers are what makes this tournament go around. We could not do it without we have an incredible base of volunteers, but we are always looking for people who want to be involved. So you are always welcome to visit our website, which is going to be going live this week. We have a new website, and you can visit us at piratescovebillfishtournament.com. And right there on our website, we have a link to put your contact information if you're interested in volunteering. There's always, you can contact us if you're interested in sponsoring as well, or if you're interested in being a participant. We would love to talk to you about all the above and how we can make all of it work for everybody involved.
So the Alice Kelly tournament, Alice Kelly was a good friend of mine, fished with me for years. And that tournament is a one-day ladies tournament. But that one is almost entirely local. There's so many local girls.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's the question I get asked more than any other question. How do I get on a boat? It's tough, isn't it, to find a boat?
I would say the majority of all of the girls that fish Alice Kelly book their next year as soon as they get off the boat. So it can definitely be difficult to find one. But we will also be posting on our Facebook page. So keep an eye open. We'll be posting if there's any boats that are looking for an extra girl or two, or if there's any boats looking for a whole group, or if there's any girls that are looking for a boat. I mean, either way. Your husband's a captain. That means you get to go for free, right? So I have fished a couple years. But in the last few years, I've let him get paid for it, you know?
Well, we're going to give Lisa a little break, and we're going to try to call down the Red Drum Tackle because I have some captain's wife questions.
Oh, man.
Of course, one of my other longtime sponsors is Jessie on the Carolina Girl down at Odin Stock.
That's right.
She's a formidable female captain. So this isn't all just about male or female, but did you see her big swordfish she caught in Key West? Jessica?
No,
It's about a 400-pound swordfish.
Holy
That's
smokes.
what she does. She goes down to the Keys, doesn't get enough fishing out of Hatteras Harbor. She goes down to the Keys, charters up, and they love that deep dropping for swordfish, and she caught a big one. It's beautiful, too.
Very nice. Well, when we come back, we're going to call down to Red Drum Tackle and see if we can get a hold of Miss Kara and talk to her a little bit about what's going on, the bite and everything down there and what they've got going on at the tackle shop. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village is the closest spot on the Outer Banks to the Gulf Stream. Just inside Hatteras Inlet, Teachers Lair is fully loaded with bait, tackle, ice, snacks, and drinks for your fun-filled day out on the water. Want to get rigged up to catch the big one? Lee and the gang in the tackle shop can outfit you to catch whatever is eager to get hooked. To see the marina, the tackle shop, or to book a charter, go online to teacheslair.com. Teachers Lair Marina in Hatteras Village. Your fishing venture awaits.
All right, welcome back to Captain Marty's Other Side of Fishing, all brought to you by Red Drum Tackle and powered by Radcliffe Marine. Speaking of Red Drum Tackle, Cap, let's call Miss Kara. You want to give her a call? Let's see if I think I got her phone number right here.
Give her a call.
This new electronic, all computerized stuff. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's definitely interesting. Let's see if she answers.
They're right there in Buxton.
Yes.
And they moved to a larger location a few years ago, and boy, it is the epicenter of anything to do with the Red Drum. That place has the right name. I can tell you that.
You got that right.
Hello.
Hey, Kara, it's Marty.
Hey, Marty. How are you?
Good. We're hoping this is all new stuff for us, but can you hear us okay?
I can hear you wonderfully.
Okay.
There you go. Good.
Well, we're excited to have you aboard with our new project here, and we have Lisa Howell in the studio with us, and we're talking about the Pirates Cove tournament. And you and I were talking last night. You're actually going to be doing a little tournament fishing yourself this year, correct?
Yes. I'm excited to maybe just do a ride along with some friends and enjoy the blue marlin fishing.
And would that be in the Marlin Club tournament or the Hatteras Village Offshore Open?
It would be the Hatteras Village Offshore Open.
That's a fun tournament.
Boat Builders tournament too.
So you guys have been in the news lately because of this. I call it a little unusual drum bite to be the dead of winter. Is that accurate? I'm not a surf fisherman, as you know, but tell us a little bit about what's going on down your way.
The drum bite's been fantastic year round. Like, it's just getting better and better all the time, it seems. And we're holding more fish that people want to catch and maybe take home and have some tacos with or some fish on the grill with. And it's just been a great bite through the winter time where it's been slow and not very many people on the beach, but you can go out there and catch at least one. So it's been.
Isn't this the time that that the locals get to go fishing?
That's right. Take a little bit of a break and go and enjoy on the beach and have it a little bit serene out there. Where pretty weather and all.
So what is the rig? What's the rig look like, Carrie? Is it like are we doing this on lures? Are we doing this with bait? What's the right rig?
Sure. Some people have been using the single hook drum rig, snelled up, using probably about an 8/0 offset J or circle hook, preferably. Okay. And then also on the smaller ones, they've been catching a lot of them on the jig heads and grub tails, believe it or not, before the moratorium on the trout. So, right. But they're catching strikes, not snags.
Okay.
So they've been very hot and heavy down at Hatteras Inlet, especially, but then the north beaches off the piers. Ramp 43 has been very productive, and Ramp 44 out towards the point.
Wow.
Yeah, so then I had a friend that went down there with a fly rod on a calm day. The drum were right in the wash, and he caught 15 or 20 on a fly rod. A lot of people will say a fly rod, but I used to be a saltwater fly rod dealer. I know it happens. There's people catch flounder on fly rods.
Flounder on a fly rod?
They sure do.
What?
Yeah. So
release. That's right. They're hungry too.
Yeah, and he couldn't believe it, and he was just thrilled to death. And to me, like Kara was mentioning, those things are really good. And there's a few black drum mixed in, correct?
Yes, and a nice eating size, about the 20 to 22 inch range.
Okay,
which is good enough to fillet and big enough to eat.
Alan down at Tradewinds for many years used to always say a small black drum was his favorite fish to eat. And I never thought much about it, but then I've had too many other locals that know the deal tell me how good a small black drum can be to eat. Do you feel that way too, Kara?
Absolutely. Broiled up in the oven, man, with just whatever concoction. A lot of people do a mayonnaise and whatever good seasoning and bread crumbs or panko flakes on top to make it crispy and crunchy. But I've heard a lot of different renditions, but there's nothing like those fish when they're coming out of our ocean, just like when you caught it yourself and you get it in on ice, on the top and bottom of that fish, and fillet them out is just as fast as you can go.
Well, Justin, Kara's not only a fisherman, she's a deer hunter, but I had a terrible deer hunting season because Kara didn't invite me to go over. She's got the good place to go.
Oh, she does.
Where all the rich people go.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you get a big buck this year, Kara?
No, I didn't even get to go. I'm excited to go turkey hunting.
I know you
I
are.
can call a turkey.
Yeah, she can. This girl can call
a turkey party without any calls. You know that, right?
I've seen it done. I couldn't do that. But you can call one without any call at all?
Yeah, that's right.
Let's hear it. Yeah. Come on. You got to do it, Karen.
Yes.
If you're going to be our sponsor, you got to be able to do a turkey call on the radio. Go ahead. We're waiting.
And look, he's walking around the corner, Marty.
Okay.
She just did it.
She did?
That laugh. Her laughing is the turkey call. And they're like, oh, gosh, that must be Kara. Let's see what she's doing. Let's see what she's up to. Must be a party where she's at.
I do know people do that, but I'm not a turkey hunter. I can't sit still long enough to be a turkey hunter.
They got some of the sharpest eyes out there. They can see you blink from like a football field away or something. Yeah. I've never been turkey hunting. I always wanted to.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's very, very challenging. So.
All right. Well, you got off the hook on that one, Kara. But what's going on? You guys are open, right?
I'll have to take you sometime and go deer hunting.
Okay. All right. So you tell us before we let you go, tell us what's happening down at Red Drum.
Just, it's pretty slow as far as the winter goes. Doesn't scare me. We did real well last year to watch what we're doing, and then gear up for the spring. I have some new sun shirts coming in. I have all kinds of new tackle, some new reels that are out right now. Bobby and Travis are building custom fishing rods just as hard and fast as they can go. We're excited to see the bluefish and the Spanish mackerel show up this year. It was okay. It was an okay bite last year, but I anticipate things are going to be really good this spring. I did have one of my friends, Dan, Shark Dan is what we call him. He went down and he got in on that fly rod bite that you were mentioning. He had caught close to 35, is what I want to say that he caught in one day drum on that bite. And it was about 2.5 weeks ago, Bobby? 3 weeks ago. Yeah. So it was just hand over fist one day. And those that were investing or going down to the inlet were paid off with just nothing but exciting one after another red drums. So,
wow. Well,
like I said, caught and release.
one of the things I always tell everybody are your local tackle shops. First of all, how long has Red Drum been there? Because when I was first showing up in Hatteras, it was there. How many years?
50 years. Bob, my late husband, did this for 50 years.
Wow.
And he had purchased it off of the couches. And to keep this steeped in tradition, Bobby and I are here carrying on that tradition and hope to serve our customers well, always.
And you always do. And
It's true.
one of the things a local tackle shop gives you, the 411, they have the knowledge. They're not, you might save a couple of dollars at a big box store, but you're not going to get the local knowledge. And the key is what a lot of our inexperienced fishermen don't realize: fresh bait. These guys work hard to find a fresh mullet, fresh shrimp, fresh anything. And you go in a big box store and buy a block of frozen squid or mullet, you're putting yourself in the hole before you even get started. So that's why you want to go to Red Drum Tackle. You'll get the best bait. You guys, that's really almost political, isn't it, Kara?
I don't know about political, but people get 2 to 3 weeks a year. They want to come in, get their stuff, be told what they can catch, where to catch it, and what they need to use, and get out there as fast as they can go. And we hope to get them on their journey and catching experience as fast as they can.
All right, Carol. So if folks want to tell folks how they can find you and how they can call you.
We are at 46948 NC Highway 12.
Okay.
You're right. You're basically right across.
46948.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
No, I was going to say you're basically right across the street from the road that takes you down to the point.
To the entrance of the park.
Yes, that's what I meant. The park. Yeah, like you're basically right across the street. They really can't miss you if you're coming into Hatteras Village, or not Hatteras Village. Excuse me. You're coming into Buxton. You're about a quarter mile, half a mile down on the right, just past what was Hatteras Island Toys, which I believe is turning into something else, which I'm not allowed to talk about yet, Cap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Kara,
Something exciting.
your phone number?
It's area code 252-995-5414.
All right.
And again, our street location is 46948 NC Highway 12 here in Buxton, North Carolina.
Okay.
27920.
Very nice.
Well, thank you very much for taking.
We're excited to help people.
Yes.
That's the beauty of it. To be excited. I mean, you can help, but then to be excited to help, it's two totally different animals.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
Well, Miss Kara, thank you so much for entertaining a call, and hey, we'll call you again real soon.
Okay, and hopefully we're all catching fish and having a good time out on the beach too.
That's what we want.
We need to do a report from the beach, y'all.
Whoa.
We just need to get out. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
We could make that happen, Captain. We could easily make that happen. See, we have the technology these days to be able to do those types of things. So it'll be good.
Put that on the list. All right, Kara. Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, you too. Thanks, Marty.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, Marty, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll jump right back in with Miss Lisa. We'll maybe make a few more phone calls and talk a little bit more fishing. All right, we'll do that when we come back. When it comes to finding phenomenal seafood, you gotta go insane. That's right, stop into the Insane Seafood Market right there on Highway 64 in Columbia. Luke Midget and his crew work hard out on the water to make sure you have the freshest selection of seafood around. They provide a wide selection of fish, crabs, shrimp, oysters, and clams, just to name a few. Insane Seafood has a hot bar to satisfy that seafood craving right on the spot. Visit them online at insaneseafood.com and like them on social media. Go insane at Insane Seafood Market, Highway 64 in Columbia. All right, we're back with the other side of fishing with Captain Marty. We just talked to Kara down at Red Drum Tackle. Sweetheart of a person. And I'll tell you, it's like I told you before, Cap. When I presented them the opportunity to be the presenting sponsor for your show, she, without even batting an eye, yes, we want to be the presenting sponsor for Captain Marty's Other Side of Fishing show.
But does that translate into free bait for me?
Well, potentially. I mean, there's opportunities there, Captain. There's opportunities. Again, like she was talking about, we could go down south and do a show from down there.
Yeah.
That they actually asked if we could, and I said, "You think?" I hate to think that we can't. We got the technology. So, all right, we're going to get back into tournament talk. We got the Pirates Cove Billfish tournament. I still want to call it the big game tournament.
Yeah, it's the Billfish tournament now. Lisa Howell is here.
Yes.
Lisa is the assistant tournament director. Mm-hmm. And basically, she'll be handling a lot of stuff that's the local type things, and there are a lot of things to do. And then Maddie, tell us a little bit about Maddie.
Maddie has been awesome to work with. She lives in South Florida. She works at McGregor Yachts, and she's got incredible history running tournaments. And she has been an absolute pleasure to work with so far.
All right, so we'll be down on the dock. The dates for the tournament, by the way.
Absolutely. So Alice Kelly, registration is going to be August 9th. With a fishing day, August 10th, Sunday. And then the Pirates Cove Billfish tournament with registration on Monday, the 11th, followed by 4 fishing days, the 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th of August.
All right, so that's the dates for the tournament. And then we have a little bit of a break in between those two tournaments. I'll be there all that week. And one of the things that we have is a really cool system, a radio that I have been with since the day it showed up. It's a high-tech VHF radio with a lot of reach and power, and you'll be able, during the tournament, to listen to the hookups and all the conversation on the radio and the scoring as both the Alice Kelly and the Billfish tournament go on. So the Alice Kelly is a one-day tournament. The Billfish tournament is fished 3 out of 4 days, I believe is correct.
Yep.
And what are boat numbers? What are you looking for this year? What are you hoping for?
So in the past, we've been anywhere between 80, 85. We'd love to see about 90 this year. Mm-hmm. We've got some rule changes that, as we were talking about before, we think will bring in some additional boats. The more the merrier. We'd love to have as many as we can.
All right. So that's the way the tournament is structured. You can volunteer. You can go down. It's open to the public. You can walk the pavilion, walk the docks, and see the most beautiful fleet ever. Or you can participate, but bring your wallet. I looked last year, and to get in all the categories was about $20,000.
Yeah, this year right? To get into all the categories is $20,000 on the dot.
Okay, so Justin,
yes,
you want to split that with me?
I mean, Cap, I feel like I got half ready to go. You know what I mean? Ready, just sitting in. I mean, I can write a check right now. I think we're good.
So enough tournament talk. Let's talk, Lisa. Your husband is Will Howell, and he's the son of a very good friend of mine, Richie Howell. So what's it like being married to a charter boat? How did that happen, by the way?
If we're going to be completely honest.
Yes, completely honest. And we want complete honesty and transparency on this show.
Nobody's going to hear this but us.
No, nobody.
Yeah, nobody else. About 11 years ago, William and I met on Tinder.
Really?
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did.
Interesting.
We obviously, both grew up here and have known each other.
And he said he was a yacht person?
Yeah, and you're like, man, he's absolutely.
Oh, boy. So, wow. And how long have y'all been together now as a couple?
A little over 10 years.
So what's the best, here's 2 questions. Best thing about being married to a charter boat sport fishing captain?
Man.
Free fish?
Free fish
By the way,
is
do you
awesome.
get free fish?
Yeah, for sure.
That's killer.
I know, because a lot of, like a plumber's wife, they're the ones that their pipes leak all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. So,
gosh.
so do you like fish?
Absolutely.
Okay. So
Yeah.
But what else? What else is good?
Man, the traveling in the winter is really nice.
Yeah.
I guess that's not the charter boat captain part of him, but
No.
he does some private boat stuff in the wintertime. And
Like, where do you get to go?
Costa Rica normally.
I was going to say probably Costa Rica,
nice.
somewhere
Yeah,
that
yeah.
direction I'm feeling.
So he fishes the Los Sueños Triple Crown in the wintertime. So
Okay.
we get to kind of pop down there most of the time.
Another leg of that tournament coming up soon, don't they?
Yeah, leg twos.
So you going to jumping down for that?
Well, the other part of being a charter boat captain is we are rebuilding our motors this winter, so we are
gosh.
not going to Costa Rica this winter. Well, he is, but we're not.
Oh, okay.
So, a rebuilt motor, people don't understand, why does a boat cost $3,000 a day? I could quickly. I was talking to Dickie Harris last night about the cost of a case of ballyhoo. When I quit, it was $50. They're $200 a case now for some ballyhoo.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
just unbelievable. And then an engine rebuild could be anywhere from $50,000 to $150,000.
So let me ask, engine rebuilds, do they just swim under the boat and take it all apart? How does all that
Oh,
work?
no.
They haul it out?
They do it two ways. In the old days, they rebuild them in the boat.
Oh, okay.
And depending on what your problem, but if your block is cracked or it's terminal, they take them out of the boat.
Oh yeah, they're out of the boat and over
You
there
got
at
two
Caterpillar.
motors in your boat? Okay.
Two.
So
Where are you hauled out at?
Richie's got them over there at the shop.
Okay.
But, for the motors are over there.
Helpful your dad owns a boat
That's
shop.
true. Very true.
All right, so what's the most difficult? What's the most difficult part about being a captain's wife?
Well, I mean, the long hours in the summertime.
Yeah. And you have a little one too, right?
Yeah, we've got a 3-year-old, and I mean, his mate definitely spends a lot more time with him in the summertime than we do. But he is one of the most hardworking people on the planet.
Yes, he's a great guy. Will Howell, and the boat is the Drifter.
The Drifter.
How do you book? See, because there's 3 or 4 different ways you can book a boat. But I always say call the captain or call the captain. So how can they book that boat?
Yeah, absolutely. So to book the Drifter, you can call William Howell or the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center. Mm-hmm. And the Oregon Inlet Fishing Center number is 252-441-6301.
Yeah.
Everybody knows
Okay.
that number.
I know that one by heart for many, many years. Wow. So, Lisa, if you're booking, now's a good time to book, though, right?
Oh, yeah. William actually has booked 4 trips in the last 2 days.
Okay.
So they are starting to roll in.
And
It's
so
definitely-
it sort of boils down tuna in the spring and fall, pretty much.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And usually the spring tuna bite is phenomenal. It was tougher last year. It's more hot and cold. Middle of the summer, if you want a little bit calmer weather, like family groups, mahi, dolphin fishing, and the big blue marlin, all that's kind of midsummer. And then you morph back into the fall, back into the tuna fishing again. But I always try to tell people, if you're 2 things, especially if you're traveling a long ways, and we know we have a lot of people from Ohio and Pennsylvania, I say try to avoid Saturdays if you can. The fleet is twice as big on a Saturday, and it can drive the tuna down, and it's just a lot more fishing pressure. So if you're going to spend that much money and travel that far, try to go midweek
Absolutely.
if you can. And then the second thing is never put all your eggs into one day. So when you plan your trip, make it where if you get blown out, and that can happen, that even though you might not get to go on the boat you originally booked, but you have a backup day right behind the day that you booked. So let's say you fish. We're going to fish on Wednesday and travel home to Ohio on Thursday. You get blown out on Wednesday. Make your plans where, if you had to, you could fish on Thursday and drive home at night if you had to.
Absolutely.
But don't put all your eggs into one single day. So anything else you want us to know? At least you've done a great job.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it's been great having you.
Yeah. What you don't seem to be nervous about anything. So how many? I think people forget there's well over $1 million in prize money at stake.
There is. And this year, with the categories that we talked about, the payouts are going to be twice as much.
Good.
And there's going to be looking some big money this year. We're very excited about it.
And if folks, again, how do they get to the website?
It is www.piratescovebillfishtournament.com, which is going to be going live this week. So you'll be able to see lots of new updates on our website, as well as different ways to contact us about participating, volunteering, and becoming a sponsor.
All right. Now, email. Do we want to throw that email out there?
Do you have any?
My email address, if you're looking to contact me personally, is lisa@piratescovebillfishtournament.com. And if you're looking to contact Maddie Hazlitt, the tournament director, it's easy too. Maddie@piratescovebillfishtournament.com. We're both pretty easy to get a hold of.
And I'm Marty at yahoo.com, but I only check it twice a year. So,
well, I tell people when they want your email address, I'm like, look, you got to be a single lady with hunting land, and you must send a picture of the hunting land.
You got to send a picture of the hunting land.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I tell people that may ask for your email
no
address.
wonder I don't get any calls.
We want to make another phone call here in a sec?
We can.
Okay.
I think we're going to try to call Captain Mike Merritt.
We'll call Captain Mike Merritt. We're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll give him a call.
Okay.
When it comes to general maintenance or major modifications on your diesel vehicle, look no further than Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance in Kill Devil Hills. Master mechanic Ryan Walker developed the plan for having his own auto shop over 20 years ago, and today he owns the premium diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks. To have him and his crew take a look under your hood, give him a call today at 252-715-0025 or find him on social media. Wanchi's Off-Road Diesel Performance, the diesel performance powerhouse of the Outer Banks.
All right, Cap, here we are. We're back, and we're going to make a quick phone call to Captain Mike Merritt. Captain, let's see if I would get him dialed up.
Mike is on a brand new Spencer boat, and he's getting ready to do something really old school.
Okay.
He's going to the Bahamas.
Let's talk to him about that.
Yeah.
See what he has to say.
Brand new boat, tournament winning Mike Merritt, old friend of mine, the guy that taught me to deer hunt.
Okay.
Hello.
Captain Mike Merritt.
Yes, sir.
It's Uncle Marty and Justin, and guess what? We have a mystery guest here that's a friend of yours.
Oh, really?
Yep, it's Lisa Howell, Will Howell's wife.
Hey, Mike.
Yep. Hey, darling.
He said, "Hey, darling." Yep, we're talking about all things tournament wise, and you're getting ready to go on a trip yourself, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
All right. So where are you going? You're going to the Bahamas, I think you said.
Yeah, we're going to a place called Elbow Cay Sea Spray Marina in the Bahamas. Yes, sir.
All right. Tell us about your boat, Mike. You got a new boat, the name of it?
It's a brand new Paul Spencer 60-foot, really sweet thing. I mean, she's a pretty boat. We're leaving first thing in the morning, head south, and of course you gotta watch the weather and use good judgment on that to where you go. In a perfect world, you'd have calm seas and you just go wherever you want to. But we're going to map out our trip and see what the weather does for us. We might have to stop short or whatever, but we plan on getting down to Palm Beach probably in 3 days, maybe 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll provision up and we'll head over to Elbow Cay sometime next weekend.
What part of the Bahamas is Elbow Cay in? I can't remember.
It's in the Abacos.
In the
Abacos
Abacos.
are a string of different islands on the most eastern side of the Bahamas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're busy down there. We wanted to just touch base with you a little bit. I'm just glad to see you back in the saddle. And is this a fun fishing trip? Or are you doing a tournament, or what are you doing down there?
No, it's the owner of the boat has wanted to go. He wants to go down there. He's been there before, but not fishing. And there's really good fishing there this time of the year. And they got a 4-bedroom house over there, and they're just going to come and go and fish. Maybe a week at a time or whatever, and then they'll come back or whatever. So we'll be there probably to the end of April, and then we'll come back to the States and end up back in Morehead City. And we'll fish out of there until maybe August, and then come back up here for the August tournaments out of Pirates Cove.
Okay. Well, we've been talking, that's what Lisa and us have been talking about, is the August tournaments at Pirates Cove. A lot of new things going on. So we'll be excited to see you there. And you were saying on Facebook the other day you were looking for a deckhand, a mate. They call them mates around here. Mm-hmm. And
I got one. He's sitting right in the truck next to me right now. Yep.
Oh, good.
I got my full-time mate, and I have a young man named Garrett Palmatier.
Oh, so you're going to go with 2 mates.
Oh, look out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, when you travel, you got to have safety.
Yeah. Did you see what your daughter Emma?
2 people to try to do it.
I applied for that job, and I asked if there was any age restrictions.
Oh,
And
gosh.
his daughter, Emma, posted back. She goes, I don't know about the mate, but there should be one on the captain. So,
Well, she's right about that. To be honest with you, Marty, it was Emma that called me and said, now who's going with you? And I said, Cameron Morrow, my mate. She said, well, Dad, don't you think it would be smart to have a third person? I said, well, I know I've done this before, all the way to Venezuela, just two of us. And she goes, yeah, but you were a lot younger then. What happens if something happens to you? And that guy's will be driving the boat, and who's going to look after you? She's right. Absolutely 100% right.
Oh, absolutely. Wow. I mean, we're going to get Johnny Savage down here to come on the show, and his story about Lost in the Stream was delivering a boat with just two people on it. And that was
well, I remember that. I remember that so well. He's a dear friend. Was a dear friend back then when it happened.
Yep. A great book. It's called Lost in the Stream. It's available on Amazon, but it's a really, really good book. Mike, we're going to let you get back to work, but maybe we can keep in touch with you when you're actually in the Bahamas.
Yeah, we got Starlink, so we can talk all the time. Just like me. Remember when I was in Venezuela and I'd call you on the Saturday morning show and tell you about the fishing and all that?
Well, we're working our way back into doing more of that. So anyway, have a safe trip down there, and be careful.
Yeah, definitely.
Catch some big fish and send us a picture.
All right, we'll do it.
All right, thanks, Mike. See you.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Bye. Now, keep in mind that is Captain Mike Merritt, and I'm not sure if Lisa knows the story about him. The reason his daughter brought that up, he's the one that was coming back from Bermuda years ago on a brand new Craig Blackwell boat, and it's 600 miles sea buoy to sea buoy. He had come across in rough 10-foot seas a lot of the way, but when he got to be 100 miles from Oregon Inlet, this is a fabulous story. When he got to be 100 miles, do you know this story? When he got to be 100 miles from Oregon Inlet, the Oregon Inlet fleet was winding up their day on a rough day on the point, and he talked on the radio, and he said, I won't see y'all till we get to the dock, but we'll be in later. And then he talked to the Virginia Beach fleet a little bit. This was about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and 100 miles to go. It was him and the boat owner, who was a dentist, I think, the boat owner's friend, and one mate. So Mike was up on the bridge with the mate, and they would take turns driving. And the owner of the boat and the other guy were down asleep in the V-berth. They came off a 10-foot sea, and when they came down the sea, there was a container from a container ship.
My gosh.
Bobbing up and down, straight up and down. And by the way, there are thousands of those things in our oceans around the world. That thing came up, and he hit it with that brand new boat.
Holy smokes.
Come on. And he said he yanked the throttles back, and as soon as he did, he could see the pillows and the mattresses floating out of the bow of the boat. And the owner of the boat was in the V-berth. Anyway, he jumped out. As soon as he jumped out of the bunk, he was in knee-deep water. That boat went nose down instantly.
Oh, my gosh.
So he got a mayday call off, and while the mate went down below, the others tried to get the life raft. They threw it over the side, in a capsule life raft.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to pull the string, and it's supposed to open. Didn't open.
Oh,
and
no.
They pull on and pull on and pull on. Anyway, finally, the boat was sinking. The only thing left out of the water was the cockpit, and it opened. They jumped in it and cut loose from the boat. Meanwhile, that mayday call was heard by a ship, and it was a tanker, not a container ship, not a freighter. And the Coast Guard diverted them 100 miles off Oregon Inlet, southeast Oregon Inlet. Saw them, and that guy turned that 700-foot ship broadside, and I don't know how he did it, but the raft bumped up against, and they dropped a cargo net over the side. And first of all, they were trying to hang on to it, and it was creeping up to the bow of the ship, and he was tell the captain to go ahead a little bit. So the captain went ahead a little bit, and they're hanging on. Then the propeller is back there going the other way, spinning. And if they let go, they'd gone right into the propeller. But finally, the captain got that big ship stopped. He couldn't see from where he was.
No, of course not.
So finally, he told the owner's guest, go up that ladder. And he climbed up that ladder, and the people pulled him over 30 feet up in the air. Then he told his mate, go up the ladder. Then he told the owner of the boat, go up the ladder, and he froze. He couldn't do it. And Mike said, I couldn't hang on but for another second. And finally he said, if you don't go up the ladder now, I'm going to leave you hanging on that rope cargo net. And he just got behind him, kind of pushed him up that ladder in those big rough seas. Got him on board. Nobody was injured. Boat sank out of sight. So they thought the Coast Guard would fly out there and get him off that ship on a helicopter. The Coast Guard said, anybody hurt? And they said, no. He said, well, we're not coming out there and getting you in a helicopter. You're going to have to go into port with the ship. The ship went into port in St. Martin.
Goodness gracious.
They had to go with no passports, no clothes, no nothing. They had to ride for 4 days to St. Martin, and the U.S. Embassy knew they were coming and got them where they could travel without a passport. But they had to wear the jumpsuits of the crew on the ship, and he said the people were nice as could be on the ship.
That's awesome, though.
To him,
that's cool.
So that's why when Capt Mike tells us, I'm thinking I'm taking an extra man along, pretty good reason for doing it.
Absolutely.
Got it. Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible.
One of my favorite stories.
Well, Captain, we're nearing the end of the show today.
That's a good one to end on.
Good one to end on for sure. I want to thank Miss Lisa Howell for coming in and talking tournament talk with us. Of course, new exciting things going on at the Pirates Cove Billfish tournament this coming August, along with the Alice Kelly tournament. And I still call it the big game tournament. That's what it's always going to be to me.
Well, there's a big game in it. So
yes,
that's close
you're right. So, but we're excited about the things to come. And I mean, we've talked to a good handful of folks today. I mean, I think we've a pretty successful first show. I don't know how you feel, but I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least they'll be happy if you book the Drifter with Captain Howell.
While you're out and about, check out our website and go book the Drifter.
What's the website?
Yeah, what is your website?
PiratesGoBillfishTournament.com or DrifterNC.com.
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 Well, Lisa, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you guys so much for having me. This was awesome. It was great to talk about all of our new and exciting changes this year.
Absolutely. Very glad to have you. Well, Captain Marty's Other Side of Fishing, all brought to you presented by Red Drum Tackle down in Buxton, the closest tackle shop to the point. And, of course, we talked to Miss Kara, and she'd be tickled to have you come down and see her and her son, Bobby. And they got a gentleman there named Mr. Anthony, who's very knowledgeable. He's actually the cover boy, I guess we can call him, he's not the cover. I can't say that. He's in the photo in your Capt Marty fishing guide, which we're getting geared up to get that produced again here in the near future. He's front and center in that photo, and we're going to get that all squared away again very soon.
Yep,
but
we got plenty of room for sponsors in there as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, you can get up with me, Justin, at OuterBanksThisWeek.com for more information on how you can be a part of that. And of course, we got it powered by Radcliffe Marine, the largest repower center in all of Northeast North Carolina. You can check them out online at radcliffemarine.com. Of course, I tried to reach out to Mr. Ricky Radcliffe prior to us cutting the mics on. I couldn't get a hold of him, but he's going to be a phone call, probably a regular phone call in the near future. So good stuff there. All happy to have those people on board and all the other sponsors that are going to fall into place as well. So, Captain, I think that's going to do it for us.
It's a wrap.
All right. Ms. Lisa, thank you again.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, Cap. We'll see you.